Oh, I'm going to turn it back around.
All right. Sweet.
It says we're live now. Okay. Stream health. Healthy. What are we saying?
Got a notification.
Okay. Ian's first. Well done, Ian.
Good job, buddy.
I'm seeing... Okay, I think we're live. Let's turn this screen back round for you, Franco.
All right.
Okay, is that good? Is that good for you? So I can't see what's happening now. So hopefully, Mr. Producer and Director and Cameraman,
We're doing our best.
you'll be okay. Oh, you know what? I've got my phone here. I've got my monitor.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, that's filmmaking lingo right there. So hello. Hi, everyone. This is the first. So firstly, welcome to another Gamertech live stream where we're building another PC today. And today we are, well, the recording is going to be a little bit, I don't want to say janky, but, you know, it's going to be different.
Freeform.
Freeform, yeah, creative. That's what it's going to be.
We got Michael Mann.
Yeah, that's right. So for the first time, I've got Frank, my colleague, and brilliant, and trusted other things on the camera, and we are going to do run and gun style.
All right.
Well, not really run, and is the camera's the gun, isn't it? Is that how that works? That saying? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. No, you can't nod by moving the camera, Frank. No one's going to enjoy that. Okay. So we are building a PC today for a brand new customer, and I hope that he is in fact on the stream. I'm just going to check this. He said he should be home and here in time. So please give me a moment. James, are you here? Hello? Hopefully James is here already. And James is very interested in learning how to build his own PC. So the reason why we're doing this creative thumbs up.
He's there.
Oh, he's there. Right, brilliant. This creative run and gun style is so that Frank can get into all the nooks and crannies and the itty bitty bits of detail and help James to understand what on earth is going on with his computer. So yeah, that's it. That's why we're doing this. And maybe, I don't know, we'll give it a go. If it's successful, we'll give it a go another time too. What do you think our success rate is, Frank? Or chances?
Moderate.
Yeah.
Like a steady cam.
Yeah. But remember, you need to talk into the mic, sir.
Oh, yeah. Moderate. I'd like a steady cam.
So let me just move your mic there.
Okay, super.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Right.
All right. James is here. We're ready to go.
Great. James, welcome. And thank you for being a customer. I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir. James is actually not only a new customer of ours, but he's also the first user of one of our, I think, unique features, which is bring your own GPU. So James has in fact brung his own GPU. I think James got this from a friend, probably who was able to buy it in the scalp apocalypse of when new GPUs launch. And James elected to supply his own GPU, which is a feature of ours that anyone can take advantage of. So whether it's because you want to keep your old GPU, or whether it's because you want to get one second hand and try and keep costs down, or for any other reason, we will allow you to bring your own GPU. You can either send it into us and we'll fit it for you, or when we build your PC, we'll send it to the PC to you and you can just fit the GPU yourself. It's a very easy thing to do. So thanks, James, for being the guinea pig for our unique feature. So I think that's it for all the housekeeping and things of that nature. Visit our website, gamertech.org, and buy some PCs. Yep, that'll do. Let's have a look at what we're playing with today. Well, let's start with the brand new graphics card. This is our first next generation graphics card. I'm very excited about this. So this is the brand new RX 9070 XT, and I've talked about this a lot on the podcast I do, and I've also coveted it quite a lot. I'm a bit jealous of you, James. This is going to be an absolute monster of a PC. Here we've got our motherboard, which is the ROG Strix B650A gaming Wi-Fi. It's in black and white because we have a black and white theme today. Down here we've got some SSD. Yeah, Frank, I'll bring it up to you. How's that? We've got a 2 terabyte SSD. We've got 32 gigs of RAM from Corsair, and it's the fast RAM as well, so 6,000 mega transfers, 30 CAS latency, so super duper kit there. We've got our CPU, which is the AMD Ryzen 9700X, which is a couple of extra cores on your usual 9600, which is 6 cores. This one is 8 cores. So that's good if James wants to do a little bit of productivity stuff as well.
He says sorry, I think, for making you jealous.
Yeah, no, I am very jealous actually. And wait until you see the case. The case is beautiful. Mwah, chef's kiss. We've got the standard, it's not standard, but I think they're just very popular. The Be Quiet System Power 10, 850 watts, which is perfect for this size of build. I say standard because I just like them. I think they're really good power supplies and very good value. And then we've got the Deep Cool AIO. I forget the model number of this one. Which one is it? Oh yeah, the LE720 in white, and that looks pretty tasty. That's everything. Oh, Rich says, hey Frank.
Hey Rich.
So yeah, that's all our components. Let's build a PC, shall we? Right, let me get rid of some of this stuff. I'm going to save the case till later, as I usually do, but it's a very nice case today, and I'm very, very excited about that. The case is usually my favourite part of a build, Frank, as you well know. Okay, so nice little box of goodies. Let's see what we've got in with this motherboard. We've got our Wi-Fi dongle, and this is a nice motherboard actually. I'm a big fan of the mid-range of ASUS boards, to the mid-range to high-range, I would say, high-end, which is the ROG lineup. I like their stuff. We're vendor agnostic here, so you know, whatever anyone chooses to put in their PC, we're happy to make it. But we only use all of the best brands. So I'm afraid no waifus on the back of graphics cards and things of that nature. At least not yet, until they become popular and a common brand. Right, shove some of that stuff down. Let's, do you want to come in on this, Frank, and have a little look? Oh yeah, trying that zoom. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Is it looking good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
How about me?
You're off camera, so that's fine.
Brilliant. Right. We'll forget that happened. This is a very nice motherboard, as I said. It's good looking. It's got lots of connectivity. If we look on the back there, we can see all the connectivity. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 USB, 9, some HDMI and DisplayPort, plenty of audio jacks as well. Yeah, really like this.
James says he's very excited. He's been saving for a few years for this.
Oh, nice.
So this is a big deal.
Yeah, so I think James has come from console gaming. Is that right, James? I seem to remember you suggesting such. So perhaps a PS4, PS5, Xbox. I don't really know the Xboxes, but they're boxes of X.
Keep going.
Right, yeah, okay. Let's build a PC. No one's here to listen to my bad jokes. Except you, Frank. You have to listen to my bad jokes. We got some RAM. Let's build up the bits on the motherboard first, as per usual. So, one last piece of housekeeping. As I said, James, the reason why we're doing this free cam, as you can see, is so that we can be a bit more methodical about showing James how a PC is actually built. He wanted to learn. And since we're nice people, we said, yeah, sure, we'll take it nice and slow. We'll zoom in nice and tight, and we'll show you what to do. So, you know, it's going to be a very instructional video, shall I say? You know, we're going to take our time, and you know, for those of you that know how to build a PC, that's cool. Stick around, and you know, hopefully there'll be a bit of chat, and you know, ask any questions. But we'll be mainly building a PC in quite a level of detail.
Rich is here specifically for the bad jokes.
Oh, brilliant! I'll make sure to try and tell a few more then, Jake. Rich, thank you.
James came from laptop gaming.
Oh, laptop. Damn. Okay, that's this is going to be better than any laptop you could ever build. Yeah, damn. This is going to fly. Right. So when putting our RAM in, there's a few considerations. So when you have 2 sticks, you want to populate the 2nd and the 4th slots. Would it help to go a bit lower, Frank? The table?
No, maybe a bit higher, honestly.
Higher?
Yeah, because I'm tilting the camera forward.
Yeah, but then you'll be on like a plane, won't you?
Yeah. This is okay.
This is okay? All right.
Yeah, it's just the motherboard in the shot.
You need to...
Okay, there we go. That's better. Now I'm wired for sound. Yeah, it's just the motherboard and shot, so we're good.
Okay, cool. So when using 2 sticks of RAM, you really want to be careful about putting them in the correct slots. So the 2nd and the 4th away from the CPU. And there's only one way to put them in, which is because it's stopped by a little slot there. So line up the slot like so, and then give it a firm push on either side, and you're looking for 2 clicks. And
That's always a satisfying noise.
I like that noise, and I definitely like the feel. It's a very nice feel. Yeah, there it goes. Right, so that's our RAM done. See, building a PC, not that hard. The hard bit is, I think, the bit that James was interested in seeing, which is all of the wiring. And he's absolutely right. That is the hardest part of building any PC. The wiring is, shall we say, a pain in the butt.
I mean, it's all subjective. I struggle with plugging things in without breaking them.
Yeah.
But trunking is my game.
Oh yeah. You're a big old trunker, aren't you, Frank? All right. So what we've got here is under here, and here are M.2 slots. So we should be able to. Do I need a smaller one? Yeah. Under there, these are essentially heat sinks. So, and they should have little pads on them as well that transfers the heat away from your SSD to the big metal lump, and so that the heat is transferred. There we go. There's our little thermal pad. Oh yeah, nice camera movements, Frank. As I said earlier, guys, this is going to be a little more run and gun, a bit more not janky. I'm not going to use the word janky.
James, if you've got any questions, or if there's anything in particular you'd like to see, then feel free to pop it in the chat and I'll pass them on to Tal.
Yes. Chat away. It's good for me because naturally I'm not a very entertaining person. So when people talk to me and I can talk back, that is very helpful. Right. So that's our SSD in, and we're just going to get this back onto the motherboard like so. Nice and easy so far. Hopefully everyone watching along is keeping up. Right. What do you think about the motherboard, Frank? It's a nice looking one, huh?
Did you say it's triple M.2?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's very pretty.
Some of them these days have, I think, up to six M.2 slots, which is pretty wild. Yeah. So we've got one here, and one here.
I do like the Rog as well.
Rog. You like to be Rodged, do you?
Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, my old rig is.
That's another one for you, Rich.
My old rig is still running the Republic of Gaming Rog that I bought in 2017.
Rog. When you say that, it makes me think of Lethal Weapon. I'm too old for this shit.
You can't make me laugh. The camera goes everywhere.
Oh yeah, sorry.
James is all good for questions so far.
Great. When you say I can't make you laugh, is that just
It's not a
a
challenge.
critique? Or?
It's not. No, it's not a challenge.
Okay, so it's a critique then. Fine. Okay, it's all right. At least Rich appreciates me.
All I'm saying is the result of making me laugh will affect the technical output of the stream.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Got one job today, Frank. That's to keep the camera steady. You're a human steady cam.
And pass on the chat.
Yes. Okay, 2 jobs. And provide company and lols
Indeed.
for me.
All right.
Right, so what we're doing now is we are putting our CPU in. Now this part is actually a little bit risky because if you come in here, Frank, sorry about that. So you can see there, this is our socket, our CPU socket. So hopefully, if Frank can get a good view of that, you'll be able to see that there is many pins. And I can't remember how many it is for AM5, but it's a lot. It's like almost 2,000 or something, 1,800, 2,000. Any one of those gets damaged and probably this PC will not work. So what we need to do is take care that you can see here there is, you might not be able to see here. I think if we go down a little bit lower, Frank,
We're good. We're good.
you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, okay, right. There's a little arrow here and we need to line it up with our arrow on the CPU. So in order to put it in, you need to be really careful that you don't drop it in, but you just place it like one side first and then gently place it in. And there we go. Get that covered up as soon as possible. That's the risky part of the build done, because after that it's just a bit complex. It's not risky in any way. I'm just going to throw these bits down. Sorry about the noises, everyone.
Rich says cute purple unicorn.
Cute purple unicorn.
Not sure where it's referring to.
Maybe Rich just likes purple unicorns. Do we? Wait, do I have one on my t-shirt? There's lots of things on there. I don't know, Rich, but yeah.
It's a mystery.
Purple unicorns probably are quite cute. Right, what's next? Oh yeah, I should probably know that. Okay, so next we're going to put our motherboard into the case. Now, we need to have a little look at what the best method of this is, because sometimes it's better to attach the cooler first, and sometimes it's better to just whack it all in first. And especially when you're building in a new case, and here we go, the big case reveal. Frank, are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. Oh god. There we go. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. This is the Meshify 2. I think you can get this in standard ATX and Excel, which is the eATX. And yeah, it's a really nice case. We've got some really nice fans at the front. Those are RGB. We've got a fan at the back, which I believe is also RGB. Can't see right now, but I'm pretty sure that it is. And there's lots of, I don't know about modularity, but there's lots of room to move. And it's got lots of nice features for building in. So things like grommets to put wires through and things of that nature.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of fractal design. Just took delivery of a Define 7 XL myself. This was the other one in the running for me.
I'm just going to move this chat box.
All right.
Is that better? I was hoping this chat box was going to be see-through as well, but it's not. Well, it kind of is a bit. It's like semi-translucent, isn't it? Do you think the chat box should go at the top right, Frank, or bottom right?
Let's put it at the bottom right.
You think bottom, yeah? Okay. Think that's going to be better?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Let's put this back round for you, sir.
Thank you.
Is that good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So let's start taking apart the case. We have a nice little quick release here on the rear That's lovely. I love little touches like that. Let me just geek out on this case a little bit, Frank, because you know what I'm like. I love cases. So, you good there with the? Can you see?
Yeah.
Things. So we've got some. These are your grommets for putting your wires through. We've also got some cable tie channels here as well, with some really nice attention to detail, where you've got some structures that are coming up where you can run multiple lines of cables through. So make the thick ones around the middle, and then some thinner ones to the side as well. That's really nice. I like that a lot. We've got our built-in fan hub up here, which is really nicely done, because sometimes it's a big kind of chunk of an area just here. It's like a big PCB, you know. Here they've got it so it's just kind of jutting out of the top of the case, which is good space saving. I really like that too.
Some chat input.
Oh yeah.
Ian loves lamp.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ian. Appreciate your input. Now this says pull. Does that say pull towards you or towards me?
That would be for your PSU.
Let's see. How do I take? Oh, no. We've got a.
Stick it on its feet. Pull the top towards you and pull it out vertically.
Okay. Everything's harder when you're trying to do it on camera, so that people can see.
Yeah. That's it. You sort of lift it up and away.
Can't get it to lift up and away on this side though.
I had the same thing.
Did you? Right, let me turn it around this way. There is a screw there, but I don't think the screw is holding it in. Something else is. There we go. So a nice little protective panel for the power supply. We'll put that on later. Right. So down here as well, we've got a hard drive cage. Now, sometimes I leave those in, sometimes take those out, depending on what the customer wants. But are you planning to install any mechanical drives, HDDs, James? If not, I can just remove this, because this will give more room for breathability and for airflow throughout the case. But if you do want it kept, let me know, and I'll keep it in place and just tuck the wires up nice and close. All right, so I'm assuming we have another quick release function for the front, for the glass. Yes, we do.
If it's like the Define 7, it's very easy to take the whole thing apart.
It's really nice, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. Oh, yep. If anyone hasn't gathered, Frank has just bought himself a Define 7.
Yeah, I'm in love with it.
Yeah, this is nice. This is gonna, I think James has chosen a really nice case to go with the black and white motherboard, or maybe the motherboard went with the case. I wonder what did you choose first, James? Was it the case first? That's how we do our configurator, our PC builder online. The case goes first, because I think the case is such a personal part of the build, right? And once you've got that, it sets the tone for the aesthetic. That's why we decided to do it that way anyway. Maybe you did the same, James, I'm not sure.
Get that cage out of there.
Get the cage out. Righto. I would suggest that mechanical drives have no place in today's consumer PC.
Screws are probably in the bottom.
They are in the bottom. Need to remove the dust filter. Yeah, so I think the only time you'd ever want to use mechanical hard drives is if you're building a server or a NAS with a mass storage need. Otherwise, they are way too slow for any kind of consumer use, like gaming or anything like that. Maybe if you want to store, I don't know, whack a mechanical drive in the PC and store some, all your photos on it, then that's fine. But yeah, other than that, it's not really needed or wanted in today's modern computers.
James says the case came first. Took him a while to decide.
Nice. I'm very happy that you chose one that you are pleased with, because, like I said, for me, the case is definitely the personal part of the build, isn't it? I'm just trying to figure out how we take this drive cage out. It might need to just come through the
front up, and it comes through the floor.
Through the floor, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just literally translate or out the
Out the PSU hole. Let's do that.
PSU hole. Also good.
Yeah. Often multiple ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Okay, so come in and have a look at this wiring, Frank, because this is the part that James especially is interested in.
Look at the PSU cage.
Yeah, so I'll just talk about wiring in general, really, because it's let's undo one of these. So the wiring in general is just the hard and annoying part, unless you're Frank and he's some sort of masochist. So this is a wire from one of the fans, and this is our wire for the PWM, which is the power and the speed management of the fan. That's what makes it turn. And then we have a second wire, and this one's for the same fan. We're really getting into the weeds today for you, James. This second fan is, the second cable is the RGB. So we've got RGB connector and then a daisy chainer. And we've got a daisy chainer for this one as well. So what we'll end up doing is running one of them to the motherboard, and then we can just daisy chain them like that. So that one goes to the motherboard and this one goes in, and we just daisy chain. That's the part that you have to kind of get your head around for the fan wiring. And also, because we've got a nice little fan header hub up here, the fans are already plugged. So the header is already plugged in, or will be plugged in to the motherboard. So all we need to do is just plug each cable into the headers up here. So we'll go through this as we go. It's once you know what you're doing, it's certainly not that complicated. But yeah, when you open a piece, when you build your first PC and you're presented with all these wires, it's like, oh god, what the hell? There's like a million things there. So yeah, but all will be explained as we go. Right. Nice feeling dust cover. Don't tell me, Frank. It's like that on the
Yeah.
What's yours called again?
Define 7XL.
Define 7XL, yes.
It was pretty close between that and the Meshify, to be fair.
Was it?
It was. It was. They were my two. They were my two front runners for a long time.
But
It's going back and forth for a bit.
Doesn't your one do about 20 drives? This one probably only does,
I think
10
if this
or
is
12.
I think the Meshify 2 also does.
I think the XL will do a large amount of drives. This one is the regular size one, and this will probably, I don't know.
You're right. I reckon it's probably
8.
12.
And then maybe a couple around the back as well.
You buy another cage for the bottom.
Yeah. Right. So let's get the motherboard in. Let's see where it sits. I'm going to do everything upside down today. Give myself a challenge. Why not? So, motherboard is going in. So, we need to find the accessories pack. And for some reason, we've got the largest accessories pack ever known to man that came with this case. There you go. I'm pretty interested to see what's in there, because that's a big old case. Right. What do you think we got, Frank?
I kind of... Oh, wow. It's a surprise.
Oh, okay. Right. So, interesting. Do you want to have a look over here? So there's some extra plates. So I'm guessing that's just hard drive plates, isn't it?
These look like 2 Fractal Design Type B hard drive trays for the server cell array. I just bought five packs of those.
So yeah, so there's 4. All right, okay. So what you would do is, if you were using a large amount of hard drives, you would take one of these trays here, and if you want to come on in here, Frank, you would attach them. You would remove this thing here, this plate, and they would get attached to the back of the case, and then you would slot your drives in there. But we don't need those. Not today. Again, if you do want to keep those, James, let me know and I'll put them in the box for you. Got nice little screen wiper thing. I like it when they put accessories, nice little accessories in the pack, you know, and it makes a difference. You know, there's we've got all the grommets here for attaching hard drives. That's pretty nice. Umpteen screws for the hard drives. We've got our, this is what we're looking for though, our motherboard screws. So, you want to come up in here for a sec, Frank?
Yeah, can we go down a little?
Yeah.
Super.
What are you saying? Does that look good to you? All right, so we've got some markers here. ATX A, Micro ATX M, Mini ATX I. So we just need to make sure that the standoffs are all correctly aligned. Which, what we're looking for, hang on, I'm just going to undo this, because these are just going to be kind of in our way. It should be pre-configured for ATX. ATX is typically the most common size of motherboard, and yes, looking at the standoffs, that's exactly what we've got. So I'm just going to put these cables aside, and now we need to bring our motherboard in. So James, you want me to peel this off for you? Once it's in there, you might forget about it. So I've got a couple of peels here. Yeah, well, this one needs to come off, so sorry bro, I need to do this one myself. Here we go. This got some ASMR. Damn, that was hot. All right, and tell you what, I'll leave this one for you, James, okay? Right, so we just line our motherboard up so that it's in the correct place, and
Please do.
then what we've got here is there's a central, can you see through that little hole there, Frank? There's a central extreme close-up. There's a hole in the middle there, and that's kind of our central mounting point for the motherboard. So once that's in place, everything should be all the same. You know what? I need to actually take this off, James, because you cannot do it once it's in there. Sorry. Okay, so that's let's get all the motherboard attached. This is the non-interesting part, where I just screw the screw in and then repeat 8 times. Anyone got any more bad jokes for Rich? Frank, any bad jokes for Rich? What does a dog use when it goes shopping?
I don't know.
His Barclay card. That was so bad that hopefully that's got all of the bad jokes out of Rich's system, and he won't need any more, because I don't think I can remember any bad ones. Oh no, wait. I got one. There's a fish swimming along in the river, and then suddenly he bangs his head really hard, and he says, "Oh, damn."
Oh, come on. Wow. Right.
Right, I've got one more. Right, there's two sausages. Two sausages are frying away in a pan. Right, and one of them says to the other, "Blimey, it's really hot in here, isn't it?" And the other one says, "Ah, a talking sausage." What do you think, Rich? Are these bad enough for you? I really hope so, because this is the cream of my bad crop right here for you.
He says chortle.
Chortle. Oh, okay, we've got a little chortle out of Rich. Brilliant. Thanks, Rich, for your chortle. Okay, right, so with all those screws attached, we now have our motherboard in the case. Huzzah. What we need to do now is start adding things like maybe the cooler, maybe the power supply. I'm going to have to take a little look at the cooler and see what the best way to do this is. I've got plenty of room up here, which is nice actually, to get the PSU cables in. And I'm assuming that James wants the AIO fans on top. That is the best way to configure it, James. If you don't want me to do it that way, please let me know. In fact, it may be the only way to do it, because if you look at this shroud here, that covers half of the cables up here. Sorry, the fans up here. So I think it's actually the only way to do it with the AIO radiator at the top. So,
Says yes, please.
okay. And the other thing about these all-in-ones, AIOs, is they again introduce more cables. So we've got cables upon cables upon cables with builds like this. But that's okay. As they say, this is not my first rodeo. It's my second. But it is my first rodeo with this case, so you know. Does that count?
Been a while since we did a white build.
Yeah. What was the last white build? It was your mini corn.
Yeah, the
Is that
mini,
right?
mini corn, yeah. I think that was it.
Make this out of the way, you keep bashing it. There you go, how's that? Sold a couple of white builds over the previous year or so, but I don't think we live streamed any of them.
No.
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
Oh, all white.
All white, very nice. Very nice indeed. So we got some white fans. We got some nice white pump res combo there. More cables, joy of joys. And that's it. We've got the instructions, which I will keep here. Where did I put? No, they've gone. I probably won't need them, but with coolers, it's always worth at least keeping the manual close by, because they're all different. Every single cooler almost is different. So, yeah. Stop making me laugh. Sorry about that. Frank's fault. Okay. I think I'll just put the case down for the moment, because I think what we're going to do now is build up the all-in-one cooler. God, this thing just gets dirty so quickly.
Yeah, white may not have been the best choice.
Well, it's our company colours, Frank. Okay. That is a nice looking bit of kit, I have to say. So what I'm doing now is just prepping all of the fans that are going to be attached to the cooler. No, to the reservoir. No, oh my gosh. To the radiator. This being our radiator. So, We need to figure out which way round it's going to go, and I believe this is the best way. Yes, like so. And then we're going to do, unless you've got any other suggestions, James, we'll do front and top intake with the rear as an exhaust. So that will give us some nice positive pressure, and it will mean that any dust will be expelled out the back. Expelled? That's the wrong word, isn't
Expelled.
it? Expelled. Thank you. Expelliarmus dust.
If I had a free hand, I would slap my forehead.
Right. So on here is a little arrow that tells us which way the wind goes, which in this case is from the top, which is where you find the label usually. Sorry, the logo, to where you find the label, which is the bottom. So we will mount them like so. So with the pulling the air through the radiator, and then to be Expelliarmus out the back. So I just want to check the. Just going to see what channels I've got for cabling, and yes, we've got plenty of channels for cabling, so I can just put the wires at the back so that they are nicely out of view. So yeah,
Sounds good to James. We are go for launch.
cool. All right, so we're going for a positive pressure, and what's the best way to do this? Move this out of the way so you can see, like so. There we go. So we just put these up. You got to take into account some of this stuff when you're building a PC, because what you find is that if you get it wrong, you start putting things together and attaching things in, and then you go to put it inside the case and it's like, oh, the cables don't run that way, or you know, the I can hear something. Got some volume coming out of your phone, Frank.
Log to the stream.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can put things on and you find that they're not in the right place. So
We'll just check the airflow direction once more.
thank you, Frank. Arrow through. I in fact put that the completely wrong way. Well done, sir.
I try.
So I would have built this up the wrong way around and wasted probably 10 minutes. So thanks very much. So I'm just going to attach all of these. This part is not interesting. So maybe if any of our viewers out there have some more bad jokes for Rich. Or Rich, since you love bad jokes so much, maybe you have some for us. Actually, asking Rich to tell jokes on a live stream, that's a bad idea. Rich, don't do that. Stand down. Okay. So, James, do you have any idea of what games you're going to be playing first? I would love to hear what you're most interested in. And in the meantime, Frank, what are you playing at the moment?
Oh, you had to ask. I'm back on Power World again.
Frank is back on Power World.
Yeah, and my complete lack of impulse control has just totally taken over. So, thanks for that, for bringing the server back online.
So, we have a dedicated Power World server, which I run in the Gamertech office. So, if anyone wants to join, send us a message. It's up 24/7, and your progress will never be lost. So if there's any listeners out there that are just people from the internet and you'd like to play with us, please just send us a message. Gamertech.org is our website. You can go there to do many things, one of which is to buy a computer. Another is to send me a message through our email and say, hey, yeah, I'd like to play Power World with you, and I will send you the details.
James says he's going to play the new Oblivion. I wonder if he means the new Oblivion or the new old Oblivion.
The new old Oblivion. They have remastered it.
Uh-huh.
And it looks really nice. Really nice. James, is that what inspired your want for a new PC to play Oblivion? Because I can totally get behind that. That is amazing. I'm so looking forward to playing it. I've just got one more Pokemon game to finish. I'm currently playing through the old Pokemon games on the Nintendo DS, and I'm currently on Black and White 2. And once I finish Black and White 2, then it's time for Oblivion. Remake or remaster. I'm not even sure. I think it's called a remaster. They're saying that it's called a remaster. No, yes. It's called a remaster, but it's more like a remake because they've made it so much better.
No, with added censorship.
Is that Richard's joke?
No, that's me.
Oh.
Yeah. So are you going to play the official and the fan one that's coming out?
Oh yeah, because there's two. There's Sky Oblivion, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they took the news quite well.
Yeah, they did. What about you, James? Are you going to be playing both Sky Oblivion and Oblivion Remaster? I will probably only play one. And it will probably be the Oblivion Remaster. But who knows? I mean, what I'm looking forward to mostly is them remaking Morrowind, which is the one I played when I was younger. That's, for me, the good vibes era of Bethesda. Morrowind was the absolute dawn, but it's not for everyone. Really, really complicated and complex, and yeah.
I think Skyrim was my first Bethesda RPG I played.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I guess it's probably lots of people's first, isn't it? Right, so there is a top panel here. So let's, oh god, doing everything backwards. So we can take off this top panel.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And do we need to take off this dust filter? I guess so.
I think you will.
Oh,
it's nice, isn't it?
Really nice. You picked a good case here, James. I am a case fanboy, and yeah, having a good case is a big plus for me. Right, what I need to do first is just unhook these cables. Yeah, so yeah, I almost threw a little cable tie into your water there, Frank. Do you need some water, by the way? Stay hydrated, Frank. I know you're filming, but do you want to go and get some water while we're doing this really uninteresting part?
Sure.
So just here he goes. Yeah, nice. Well done. Oh, he's crushing it. Well done, Frank. Oh, and there goes a pint of water. Frank was a little bit thirsty. It's very warm today. Do you know it got to 28 degrees today?
Oh, that's too much for me.
Well, it wasn't. You're still alive.
Yeah, fair enough.
You did make it through the day.
James says, probably just the remastered one, and would love the Morrowind remake. All I can say is mud crabs.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been a long time since I played any Bethesda game, actually. What was the last Bethesda game you played, Frank?
It's No Man's Sky Bethesda.
Nope. Starfield?
I know I never played Starfield in the end. I was keen, but then I never pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Fallout 4?
No, I have to date not played a Fallout game since Fallout 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, good. So you play Fallout 1? Not many people have played Fallout 1.
I haven't finished it. That's Rich's influence, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
I am intent on finishing them at some point. You know, when I break a leg and become infirm. Have a bit more time on my hands.
Yeah. Right. So I'm just figuring out now the best way to, this is going to be a bit tough. I'm going to figure out the best way to run the cables. So the cables need to go from the front to the back, but it's just a little bit awkward, especially when I'm doing it back to front. So I'm just going to bring this up here. No, seriously. Okay. So cables through here, through these channels. I'll tell you what I need to do. I need to kind of hold it in place and then, yeah, okay. Oh God, this is awkward. Yeah.
Rich has played Fallout 1, 2, 3, NV, 4 and Shelter. He ignores 76.
Yes.
I mean, I've heard a few accounts that have said 76 is significantly improved, but I have also watched a video with, I think it was 500 glitches of Fallout 76. It was about 5 hours long. Yeah.
It launched in an incredibly buggy state. And I just don't like that on principle, you know? So I chose not to play it. And yes, it has had a bit of a resurgence because it's had the No Man's Sky stroke cyberpunk treatment, you know, where it's apparently very playable now and it's actually a very decent game that a lot of people are playing.
What, 3, 4 years later?
Yeah, exactly. It's not cool, is it? Yeah, so I didn't play it just on those grounds. I think when a game is so buggy, it's just not right. It's what is it? It's just anti-consumer, and I don't like that.
That's fair. Rich says, I'm sure 76 can be fun, but for me, Fallout is not multiplayer.
No, Fallout is not multiplayer, is it? It's very much a single-player experience. Okay.
How many have you played? Because you're not really a campaign guy.
So I played Fallout 1, 2,
Tactics?
3. I think I played all of them. 1, 2, 3, New Vegas. I played 4 for about half an hour until I realised that it was bad, and then didn't play it after that. And yeah. I also played. What was that? Rich mentioned it earlier. The one on the phone.
Shelter.
Yes. Yeah. That was fun for a while, I would say.
Fun for minutes.
Yeah. Well, you know, typical mobile game, right? It's just it's good fun until it isn't.
Mileage may vary.
Yeah. Right. So a bit of an awkward part here. Just trying to mount this.
Theoretical question, could you put the case on its head and use gravity? I suppose you'd need to overhang it over the edge to screw the radiator screws in.
I certainly could, but I feel like I'm kind of committed now. Everything's a lot easier when you're not doing it backwards and upside down.
And solo. Because normally I can, provide physical support as well as emotional support.
I do usually need a lot of emotional support, thank you. These days I have my own emotional support dog, Florence. So she helps me through the tough times. Doesn't she, Jem? I think Jem's watching. Jem said she was going to watch. So now I'm just screwing in the radiator. Why do I keep wanting to say reservoir? Screwing in the radiator so that it's attached to the case.
I'll tell you why, it's because you spent the last 2 days dismantling your water cooling system.
Yes. That was not a fun job. I'll tell you that for sure now, Frank. I did not enjoy.
No. I've seen the splatters.
Oh, yeah. So, liquid splatters from the loop. You mean?
Yeah, the red squeegee bottle down by my feet.
Yeah.
Rich says radiator dogs. Good.
Nice. I like that. Rich is so funny. Okay. Now let's route these cables back here as well. So all I'm doing is I'm trying to make everything look as neat and tidy and good looking as possible for you, James. a lot of this, just FYI, I might not do on stream. No, actually, that's what I usually say, but we're doing this specifically for you to figure out how to do this in the future, aren't we? So actually, I completely take that back. We'll do all of it on stream.
We have somebody new in the chat. Sorry for the bad camera. Arshia RV says, I've been using the ROG B650A with a 7700X for a year now. Does it make sense to upgrade to the newer generation of motherboard and CPUs?
The motherboard, no, definitely it doesn't make sense. So if you're coming from an older generation and you need to change the socket, then absolutely buy a new motherboard. So the B850 or maybe one of the X, whichever you prefer. But there's actually very little difference between the B650 and the B850. Really, the only difference is what you're putting at.
You look at me.
Oh, look at the camera. Yeah, I'm trying to look at the camera. Really, the only difference between them is support for USB 4, which is great. So if you have any devices that take advantage of USB 4, what's the guy's name? Arshia RV. If you have any devices that make use of USB 4, then yeah, I think there is good grounds for an upgrade from B650 to B850 or X670 to X870. God, those names are a right mouthful. But unless you want to use USB 4, it's not worth it. It sounds like you've got almost the same board as James does. I think James was the Dash A. Yeah. Gaming Wi-Fi, and what was yours?
It's the Dash A.
Oh, okay, so it's the same one then. It's a really good motherboard. Yeah, I would say unless you have a specific reason, like I don't know, well, you need USB 4, or let's say you need just more connectivity. So let's say you wanted to go to, let's say you've got 6 or 7 USBs at the back of your PC, and you need, because let's say you start streaming, you need 12. You want to get a motherboard with 12 USBs. So, that's the only time that I would suggest upgrading from what you currently have now. If you don't see any reason like that to upgrade, your board that you've got is absolutely fine. I would stick with it, save you money. But CPU, that's a different story. If you're using, I guess, what did he say, a 7700? If you want to go really high end for gaming, then the 9800X3D is a big increase for you from the 7700. Really nice chip. If you wanted more CPUs, there's X3D versions that have more cores as well. The 9950X3D would be the one if you're into productivity as well. But if you're just gaming, I would suggest the 9800X3D. And because you're not going to upgrade the motherboard, you've got a bit more money to upgrade the CPU as well. And that would be a really meaningful upgrade for you. Okay.
Thanks for the question.
Thank you so much for the question. That's a really good and interesting question, because sometimes you find that the motherboard differences from generation to generation can be quite compelling. This one really isn't. This one is, you can almost say that there's practically no difference between B650 or the 650 range and the 850 range and the X670 and the X870. They're really what people would term side grades rather than upgrades, unless of course you need that particular feature, which is the USB 4. I don't know how many people would need USB 4. What is it now, up to 40 gigabit per second? I mean, that's really fast.
Yeah.
But I can't, unless you're maybe a external hard drive or a very high-end camera, then, like a DSLR or, a mirrorless, then, yeah.
The thing is, our stream is already telling us our current bitrate is higher than the available stream bitrate.
Yeah.
So,
what's it saying? Is it saying good or excellent?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're going to be streaming, you're not going to be experiencing that rate of data transfer. You won't need it.
No, you'll probably run out of internet before you run out of USB speed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm struggling to think of a really compelling USB 4 use case right now, but in the future, maybe that'll change.
Maybe.
How you doing with the camera there, Frank?
Yeah, it's working. I'm thinking of a few improvements.
Okay. All right. So, right, what we're going to do now then is you can see that we've got all of our cables here. There's one more under here actually. I'm just going to undo this one as well. These are all of our fan cables. So we're going to route these in a nice way that gives us space for bringing in the power supply cables, which will come next.
We got another question from Squad GTX99. They say, I got the MSI Supreme Liquid 5090. Any idea of a good PSU? Still need to buy the other components to complete the PC build.
So I think the 5090 is 1,000 watts or above. Let me just check that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's not 1,000. Sorry, more than 1,000. So 5090 PSU requirements. Let's have a look. Yeah, 1,000 watts or greater. Now, I would say that, what version have you got? You've got the Supreme as well. That is the clocked version, the overclocked version.
MSI Supreme Liquid.
Yes, so that is the overclocked version. So I would say you should probably aim for about 1,200 watts there. Squad GTX99.
Who'd have thought the hardest thing about streaming would be reading out our viewers' names?
Yes, I would say aim for a 1,200 watt power supply, or you probably don't need more than that, because I doubt you're ever going to have a graphics card that needs more power than 1,200 watts. But if you really wanted to be absolutely sure that you had lots of headroom, then you could go for a 14, 15, 1,600. You probably want to go for at least gold power rating, so that because and also I would suggest that, so there's a few things running around in my head. I'm trying to get them all out. There's a new type of power supply rating. So everyone knows 80 plus, which is the gold, silver, gold, bronze, platinum, etc. There's a new one that's been out for a few years now called cybernetics. Now, if you're buying a very high-end power supply, and anything 1,200 and above will be quite high-end, I would suggest that you look for one that has a cybernetics rating as well. Squad GTX99. Because the 80 plus doesn't measure things like transient spikes. All it does is measure the efficiency, whereas cybernetics is a much, much higher and better certification. So I would stick with the big brands like Corsair, Be Quiet, Antec and Silverstone, and get one that's it'll be 80 plus rated as well. So gold or gold plus, and with a cybernetics rating. That would be my suggestion.
Thanks for the question. RCRV says, thank you for the help. So I'd rather save some money and wait for the next generation of CPUs.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I would probably do that as well. I think the only meaningful upgrade you'll be able to get from your 7700X is the X3D models. And that will be meaningful, but it won't be as meaningful as waiting until the next generation, where you'll have even faster CPUs. Okay, so let's start making some sense of this cabling. At this point, I'm going to have to do this. Oh, good. That's good. So I'm going to start tidying these around, and we should have lots of cable ties somewhere. Cable ties.
The monitor over here.
The monitor. Oh, I've got some more here as well. Don't worry. Thanks, dude. Okay, so what we have over here are our PWMs. So we've got 4s and 3s. So let's make sense of what we've got here. So this is a 4 cable PWM, and I think we will just let's have a look what it says down there. So we can bring this in like so. And there we go. And then what we can do is we can start to daisy chain these, like I said earlier. So we'll get all the RGB ones, and we'll just fold those around the back at the moment. We'll just concentrate on the PWM cables, like so. We'll just do one daisy chain at a time. And then we'll just look at a way to make sure that this is all nice and tidy.
All right, Squad says, thank you very much for your informative answer. I'm a new subscriber, will enjoy watching you master the cable management. And we got another question from Abdul. Hi Abdul, he says, bro, I'm tight on budget. I wanted something to stream games right now at 1080p, but I was conflicted between choosing i5 13400F with an RX 6660, no, with DDR4, or just go with a Ryzen 5 8600G without GPU.
Right, okay. Abdul, thanks so much for your question. I would say there's a big difference between those two. So just having any discrete graphics card like your RX 6600 there is going to be 5, 6, 10 times better than the onboard graphics that you'll get with any of the iGPUs. Now the 8600G is a pretty good one as far as iGPUs go, and if you're only playing the most basic of games, you know, indie games, you know, at low settings, then you'll probably be fine. But I would say the difference of having a discrete separate graphics card is pretty massive, and I would suggest that if you can, try and get one in your build where possible, because I mean, if you're not doing any gaming, then having a built-in graphics card is fine. But
yeah, the use case in this case is streaming games, so
yeah,
it will need to do both.
Yes, it'll also be a bit tough to play games and stream on a 6600, my friend. Not impossible. You'll definitely have to be at 1080p settings. 1080p resolution, and maybe you'll have to play around with the settings a bit. And the other thing is that the AMD cards aren't quite as good at streaming as the NVIDIA cards. So yeah, I would say if you're going to be streaming as well, probably try and fit a 4060 or a 3060. If you can get a second-hand 3060 for a reasonable price that's got 16 gigs of VRAM, that will be a real sweet spot for you there, because that will give you all of the excellent features that you get from NVIDIA for streaming, such as the codecs, the NVENC codec, but also you'll be able to play games to a much higher level. Thanks so much for the question, dude.
The 3060 was a really good bang for your buck card, wasn't it?
Oh, totally, yeah, man. Yeah, massively. What am I doing here?
In the same ranks as the 1080 Ti.
Yeah, it's a very good card that has stood the test of time much better than some of the others, that's for sure. The 40 series and now the 50 series, my word, they are not good value for money, to say the least. Right, let's start getting some cable ties here. Just how tight is your budget, by the way, Abdul? You didn't specify. I guess probably about 600 quid by the sounds of what you're looking at. But yeah, that'll be tough. Try and get an NVIDIA card, and definitely just try to get any discrete GPU. Right, let's tidy.
Probably worth mentioning, Abdul, if you're in the UK and you need a hand, that this PC that we're building now, the customers provided their own GPU. So if you can find a way to source an inexpensive GPU for yourself, we'd be happy to help you.
Yes, yes, indeed.
In assembling the rest of your rig on a budget.
Thanks, Frank. Right. I'm not going to do all of the cable tidying now, James. I'm going to do that off stream because it's you know, messy and frankly very uninteresting thing to do. But I'm definitely, I hope that I'm definitely showing you kind of the basics here. So just, you know, the fact that we've got two separate cables for each fan, which is a power and then the RGB, and they all need to be routed to the correct places, which in this case is our little fan up here. Abdul says not in the UK, but thanks. Cool. Yeah, nice to help, dude. So
Squad is goading you to do all of the cable tidying now.
do it now. Come on. No, we'll be here for 5 hours. No, all I'm going to do. So I'm going to trunk the cables so that they're kind of, you know, mostly good. But I'll come back to this later off camera and like make them look pretty, you know, just actually how you would want them to be, because yeah, doing it all is very fiddly. But we will do all the cables. We will do the cables, so don't worry about that. Mad.
May not be your kind of fun, but it certainly is mine.
Yeah, you know what? You can just stay here and you can do the cables, Frank. You find that stuff fun. Right, so what we have here, let's have a look at these then, Franco, is a bunch of cables that are connected to the case. So I'm going to try and separate these out and show you which one is which. So this is your USB 3. Now this goes through one of these grommets here and into the motherboard. This one is HDMI. For if we have HDMI at the front, which we don't always have that, but it's often there just in case. So that'll go again through the grommet and into the motherboard. This is our audio cable, and there's a specific way you have to plug this in. You can see, can you see, Frank, that there's a blank.
Hang on, it's a rotten focus. There we go.
There's a blank hole there, and you just need to make sure that lines up nicely with the blank pin on the header on the motherboard. And then lastly, we have our power switch, which again, I'll show you where it goes, but everything goes through the back into the front, so that, well, yeah, I mean, that's just the way it goes. Okay, so let's start doing these now. I know where most of these need to go, so we'll start with the bigger ones, which are these two here. And they'll go through, and I think, you know, actually, you know what? I don't want to have that all-in-one flapping around when I'm moving things around, so I'm gonna just attach this now. Okay.
James says, yes, he understands. Going great so far. And we've got Yuri in the chat. Hi, Yuri.
Yuri! Yo, yo, yo! Thanks for joining, dude. We're just building a PC. So, yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome to our PC building. It's a bit of a complicated one, this one, because we've got lots of cables. We've got an AIO, and we've got also cables which are for power on the fans, but also RGB, which always presents extra issues. So now I've put some of the cables at the back in the right place. We're going to attach our pump and water block here now, so because I just don't want it moving around while I'm doing all the cables. So I'm going to put the case back down this way, and now we've got a few things to do to prepare for the install. So first things first, I will remove the blanking plates that we have on the motherboard, which you can see are these things. I'll show it to you in a sec. These are just kind of like blanking plates that just sit in the holes where your cooler goes. The cooler, boss. The cooler. What's that even from? I forget.
The water boy?
Oh yeah, the water boy.
Brilliant.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Yuri says, you can see the cables. Looks great so far.
Wonderful. Thank you, Yuri. You're very kind, sir. It's going to look a lot better when I'm finished, but you need to kind of make sure that you do things in stages with PCs like this, because you know, it's quite complex. Right. So now, sorry, Frank. I was going to just down here. So now we have our CPU exposed, ready to be fit with the water plate, which is this thingy right here. As you can see, we have our cold plate on the bottom, and we have some paste that's already applied, which is great. So all we need to do is just chuck this on. Question is, how do we chuck it on? So we should be able to take, this is where I will consult the manual. Right, so read to yourselves, guys, just you know, amuse yourselves. Okay, so, because the thing is with coolers is they're always different. So we've got some standoffs that we need to put on first, and then we've got some brackets that fit to the side of the plate, and then screws that go on top. Nice. That's pretty standard for an AMD install.
Got the capacity for a couple of questions?
Oh yeah, questions. Keep them coming.
All right, we got another one from Squad saying, talking about AIO, what's the best for power-hungry CPU? Like 9950 X3D, the best to keep temperatures down.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with AIOs is that typically the more you spend, the better they are, and that's a pretty linear rule here. There are some really good ones from Asus. I think they're called the Ryzen range. Ryzen. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but if you search, go to Asus and then look at their AIOs, there's something like the Ryzen range. They're very good. I really like the Lian Li Galahad coolers. They are fantastic as well. But generally, I would say that if you're fitting an AIO to quite a basic CPU, maybe, you know, that it might not necessarily need it. You don't need to spend lots of money. And in fact, I'd probably argue that if you're running anything with 6 cores or below, air cooling is better, because air cooling is safer, more robust, you know, less, you know, more reliable. And if the main reason people install these is for looks, and I get that because they do look really nice, but they do work very well for high-end CPUs, like you said as well. But the only thing I would suggest there is that you really need to spend a bit of money when it comes to the high-end CPUs. Sorry, the high-end AIOs, in order to get something that's really, really worth it, you know. So good to know. Yeah, I heard the yeah, that's it, the Ryzen 3 ARGB. Yeah, there. That's the one. I couldn't remember the name, but that's definitely the one that I would recommend. That or the Lian Li Galahad. I think both of them are excellent, and you'll be very happy with both.
Got a question from Yuri also. They say, what are your thoughts on the Core i7 7700K paired with the GTX 1080 Ti? I'll only be playing in 1080p gaming and really any AAA titles, many games like Overwatch, Valorant and Halo.
What are your thoughts on the Core i7 70 paired with a G? Yeah, so the 1080 Ti is still a pretty decent card. I think they've stopped giving support for it now, so I don't think you'll get new drivers. So it might be a bit patchy with really new games. But that aside, is actually still a decent card, and I think probably what you're getting at, Yuri, is bottlenecking. Is the CPU, sorry, is the GPU going to be able to keep up with the CPU, which is a lot more modern? And the answer is yes, definitely. At some point, you may want to upgrade your 1080 Ti to something more modern that has, you know, driver support for modern games. But in terms of oomph and power that the 1080 Ti has, it still keeps up. Yeah, keeps up pretty well. Right. I just need to figure out how we're going to do this for a second. Right, so that is the way round it wants to go. Do we do this way? Yes, like so. So I want the brackets to go there and there. So sorry, I'm just kind of sizing up these brackets here.
There's always a certain way an AIO wants to go based on the hose sort of tension. Isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. And they, oh, I'm losing screws here. They do kind of set it up so that it's, you know, the arguably the correct way. And you always want to have the highest point of your AIO to be the radiator and the fans, not the pump. Because if the pump is at the highest point, then air will get stuck in the pump at the top, and you'll then basically your pump will be running dry, as it's called, and yeah, your pump won't have a good time with that. It will break. So yes, we are putting the radiator at the top of the case here, because that is the best way to do it for performance and also stability and reliability.
For the benefit of AIO newbies on the call, the pump is where, Tom?
Oh, this is the pump. I'm holding this right now. So the pump is the thing that you clip onto the top of the CPU. So yeah, this is kind of like an all-in-one unit. That's why they call it an all-in-one. So it's the cold plate which attaches to the CPU, but it's also the pump, and in some cases also just like a nice, you know, LCD screen on the front and what have you that looks good. Okay, so now we're going to attach this. And if you can come down here a bit, Frank, what we're going to do is bring it down into place and then try and centralize it. Yep, looking good. And then we've got 4 screws that we just need to put on top here. Oh God, get in there. Get a little. Okay. Very good. All right. Try number 2. We use the screwdriver. There we go. What you want to do here, guys, is it's really important that you have equal tension on the CPU, so that you don't have, like, you know, one corner of the CPU being have a lot of pressure on it, and then the other corners don't have any pressure on. So you don't want to just do one screw in one corner all the way to the end, and then go and do the other corner and the other corner and then the other corner. What you want to do is, like I'm doing here, you know, do a number of turns on each one, and then you move to the next one, so that you've got equal tension all across the board, and that means you're not tightening your CPU in any one place. And you also don't want to tighten it too much. So when you get to the kind of the end of the travel with the screwdriver, you want it wants to be tight, but you don't want to really kind of, you know, massively torque it and over tighten it. Just like a little bit over finger tight, but not very screwdriver tight, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Right.
I'm Noobler Pro, Noobish Pro. Welcome to the chat. Is a 9800 X3D good with a 5080?
Damn! That is top tier, my friend. Top tier equipment right there. Yes, that's perfect. So when you've got a CPU as good as the 9800 X3D, which is the best CPU for gaming, you really want a graphics card that can keep up with it, right? So you don't want to have, for instance, a 4060 or a 5060. You don't want to have anything that's probably under £700. God, it sounds like such a lot, doesn't it? Graphics cards are expensive. But if you're running a 9800 X3D, I would say 5080, 4080, 5090, 4090, or AMD 7900 XTX, or this one, this very one that we're installing right now, which is the AMD RX 9070 XT. So yeah, I would say this is about the bare minimum for, well, this is the highest one they do now, but this is the bare minimum. You'd want this to go with your X3D chip, and then you'd want at least a 5080, I would say. You could probably get away with a 5070 Ti, 4070 Ti. I wouldn't personally, but you know, that's just me. Right, let me give you a little show of this. So there's that's where we are so far. I think it's looking pretty nice. These we can move around a bit, and obviously, okay, I need to undo these and then feed these through as well. I'll do that now, actually. Sorry, Franco, I just need to, oh God, okay. Right. So many difficulties, upside down, back to front. It's nice looking though, isn't it? I'm loving the black and white aesthetic. I'm loving this cooler is very nice actually. It's a very nice looking cooler. This is the Deep Cool. Is it the LT? I can't remember the model number. The 720. It's either the LT or the LS 720, but it's a very nice one.
Yuri says, "Damn, looks clean. Love all the white." He thanks you for the information, and he says, what would you recommend for an upgrade of a GPU for the Core i7 7700K?
7700K. What would you recommend for an upgrade of a GPU for the 7700K? What did you have?
1080 Ti, I think it was.
Yes, you already said the 1080 Ti, right? I would suggest that it really depends on budget, but I would suggest something like, if you're looking at AMD, I would say at least the what's the old model number? The 7900 XT or the XTX, or this one, which is the 9070 XT. On the NVIDIA side, probably I would say anything from the 70 Super or 70 Super Ti and above. So that'd be the 40 Ti Super, the 40 Ti, so the 40 Ti Super, or the 50 Ti. I think there's no Super with the 50 Ti yet. 50 Ti and above. Does that make sense? I think I kind of garbled a lot of that, but it's a lot of things to think about. But yes, that's what I would be looking at. And I think in terms of budget, you're probably wanting to look at the kind of £600 or £700 mark or so to get some, real meaningful performance out of your, very nice CPU. That's what I would suggest.
We've got a couple of airflow related questions here. Squad says, is there a rule for radiators, fan, intake or exhaust? And Yuri says, I noticed the fans are set to exhaust with the radiator. What is your advice on putting the fans as an intake for the radiator of an AAO cooler? I think they're set to intake, aren't they?
Yes, these are intake. So let me give you a little look here. So you can see that we can see the label of these ones. And then if you look to the right here, Frank, we can also see the label of these ones. And then if we look here, we can see the logo. So the air goes from the logo to the label. So what we're doing here is we're pulling air in from, air is going from here through there, and then air is going through here and down in. So we're pulling air, big amounts of air in here and in here at the top. And then this fan is going to exhaust it all. So that's a positive pressure setup, which generally is the sort of more accepted, better way of doing things. But there's a number of ways of doing it. Really, as long as you've got some airflow, nothing is bad, right? You can do things in different ways. Intake, exhaust in different ways. You can even have air coming in from you can have a negative pressure where you'd have air coming in and then exhausting it from here, but I wouldn't recommend that, but you can do it a number of different ways. Yeah, Yuri says there, that's cool.
You earned a sub as well. We earned a sub.
Whoop whoop.
Thanks for the sub, Yuri. Appreciate it.
Thanks, dude. Squad says, wouldn't it feed the case with hot air when in exhaust? A very little bit, yes, a very little bit, but not much. And because we've got such positive, because the idea behind positive pressure is that we're bringing so much air into the case that it's almost being forced, this way and this way. It won't be in the case for longer than, half a second. So all of the air is being, exhausted out the back very, very quickly. So that's the idea behind positive pressure. It means we're forcing the air out of the case, and any hot air that we bring through the radiator, which there will be some, will just come right out of the back straight away. So yes, to answer your question, it will make a slight difference, but really not much at all, because having positive pressure is always going to be better in general.
Yeah, he says he understands it now. I mean, all this fan chat is exhausting.
Hi! Oh, wow. All right. Frank's going in for the bad jokes now. Well done, sir. All right, so I'm going to bring some more cables through. Okay. So there's no good way, unfortunately, of hiding this cable here. Can you see it? This one that comes from the pump.
Yeah, it's a rotter, isn't
which
it?
is a real shame. I wonder if perhaps I can do something where it would go like in between the RAM or something, but I'll see what I can do with that, James. Those ones are always a bit difficult, and I think in cases like this where you've got white cooler, they should probably make this particular cable black, because mostly you're going to find that motherboards are going to be black. There are white motherboards, completely white motherboards, but they're quite few and far between actually. So
Do you know what I would do as an excessive cabler?
what's that?
I'd rotate it anti-clockwise 90 degrees and put it up between the two heat sinks in the top left corner.
What, you mean the whole thing?
Yeah.
The only thing is that this is the logo, and the logo like that is going to be, it's going to look wrong. And these I'm going to tuck up in here as well, So there's going to be some stuff that, as I said, I'll do off stream, but it's going to look a lot nicer when it comes to you, James. I'm not sure what to do with this, but I will figure something out.
We'll find the way.
Well, if there is a way. there might not be a way, but we'll find one if there is. Right, so I think now I've got a couple of cables that I need to bring through for I'm just kind of taking stock of things and trying to figure out what is going to be best for the cabling here. Because let me turn this round and have a look with you guys.
Squad says having positive pressure is always positive.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. We're gonna have to rename this the bad joke stream. Right. So yeah, I was just taking a look at everything back here, because there's still a few things obviously that need to be plugged in. We've got all the RGB, and then I need to plug in the headers here for the hub, and a few other bits as well. So it's still looking a bit messy here, but that's okay. So we're going to start. I'm either going to bring through these cables now, and then let's bring through these, and then I'll do the power supply. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to point these through like so, in the place that I know that they go to, and I'll show you how I know this kind of thing, James, because it's just experience for me, but for you, you probably want to be shown. So I'm just going to put these through like so. So now you can see we've got these two which go here and here. We've got this one which goes here, and then this one which goes down there. So I'm going to put the case on its side. I hope those cables stay there. Yes, thank you very much. And then get these plugged in nicely. This one you want to be careful when you plug it in, don't you, Frank?
never going to live that one down.
Frank built a PC for me a little while ago, and he was jamming that in. It's like, I think I bent some wires there, Tal. I'm very sorry. Luckily, I was able to bend them back into place. But yeah, you got to be a bit careful with that one. So this is the audio I'm putting in down here, and you can just see that it matches up, right? So we've got 5 and then a 3 and a 1 that matches up the one with the blanking plate here. So just gonna plug that in. It's kind of probably hard for you to see, guys. I'm sorry about that, but there's only one way to do it. So you've got to make sure that it goes in the correct way, like so. And then we have our power switch, and there is, hard to see here, Frank, maybe you can get down here, but I don't know. You've got a bunch of stuff. This is our header panel basically. So here we've got power, LED, power switch, we've got LEDs for the HDDs, we've got a reset button. You don't always need these. In this case we've only got the one. So power switch is just going to go in, plonk, right there. And then we'll just feed that wire back through so it looks nice.
Yuri says, that click, presumably referring to the USB.
Yeah, that's a good click when the USB goes in. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, so now it's time for the power supply, because we really need to get the power supply cables in before we do any more messing around with the cables that we've got here. So yes, this might not be a great view for you guys here, but I'll do my best. Where's the power supply? Here we go. Where'd I put my knife? That's not a knife. No, don't.
Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat with my ancient eyes. Squad says power switch, etc. cables have been for decades the same and hard to put in place. Why didn't they advance them? I agree with you 100%, Squad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is the answer? I just don't know. It seems like you're absolutely right. They've been the same for decades, actually decades, and I don't know why we haven't got anything better now than these tiny little fiddly cables that just these piddly little things that are so easy to break. I guess it's just the best way. I mean, surely they would innovate if they could, right?
Do you think it might be feasible that the sockets are often in divergent places on different motherboard boards? Yeah, that's the main consideration. They've got to make things so that it fits everything. So it needs to be just the most simplest and kind of basic method, doesn't it? Because it needs to fit so many different types of situation. Now, is this going in the back thing and then is this going to, no, okay. Some of them go like that and some of them don't. Right. So in that case, we just slot it in the side. Do we slot it in the side? It won't slot in the side, will it? Right, am I just missing something here? Is there a whole part of that? Oh no, it does go in. It does fit.
Oh, for God's sake. All right. This is what happens when you try and build back to front and upside down. I mean, it's not upside down right now, but it's definitely back to front.
Give it 10 minutes.
Yeah. Right, so make sure that the fan is facing down because you have some ventilation at the bottom, but not at the top. So make sure the fan of the PSU is facing downwards and then put it through, like so. And then we just have to attach this. I think I'm going to do something wild, Frank. Are you ready?
What is it, you renegade?
No, I'm not. Am I? I don't know if my mic will go all the way.
Are you walking around the desk?
I'm coming around.
Ah.
I'm coming around the other side. Okay. let's see. So we've got to line these cables up here. Oh look, there's a little picture. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? Isn't that clever? Right, so we attach our PSU to the bracket here, and then we attach the bracket to the case. Nice and easy. You're doing some more extreme close-ups. Whoa!
I wonder if there's anybody in the chat who understands that reference.
Probably not, no. That's from Wayne's World. And I doubt anyone but Rich has seen Wayne's World. Oh no,
Ian, if he's still about.
Ian, if it's still about. Maybe James? James, are you old enough to remember and to have seen Wayne's World? A favourite of mine. Alright. So, now that we've got power supply attached to the frame, we just plug them in. Like so. What are you saying, Frank? Is this looking good so far?
Yeah. I mean,
Just in general, I mean.
the black and the white is really striking.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay.
I'm trying to think what it's reminding me of right now. Some sort of armour.
Yeah? Okay. So now we need to route some of these power cables. So, let's go over the power cables for James. Yeah. Right. This is our 24 pin, and this goes, and this provides pretty much all of the power that goes into the motherboard. Here, we've got...
James says party on, girls.
Hey, nice. Here we've got one for our CPU. There should be another one for our CPU somewhere. Yes, there's one. Got two for our CPU. Sometimes you use one, sometimes you use 1.5, sometimes you use all two, depending on how much power delivery your motherboard can manage. I think yours is 1.5. You know, earlier when I said, don't worry, there's plenty of room to attach the power cables. Well, there's not anymore because of the radiator. So there we go. That's mistake number 2. Mistake number 1 was almost putting in the fans the wrong direction onto the radiator. But mistake number 2, I think I can probably just put them through, just wiggle them through this hole. But yeah. So these are your CPUs, and this basically provides all of the power to your CPU. Then we've got 2 more that go for your graphics card, and I believe your graphics card will use all of those. And then we've just got some SATA on one, and then this should be SATA and Molex mixed. So 1 Molex and then some more SATA. Try not to use these, guys, if possible. Molex. This is one of those standards that really should just die. They're very old, they're very clunky, they're very janky, and yes, unless you absolutely have to use them, try not to use them. Right.
If you're a Prodigy fan, they should be the only fire starters.
Brilliant.
But just look at the way that the inner sleeve rattles around inside the clip. Really, not a good.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can,
not a good piece of design.
Look at that. Yeah, do not use if possible. Right, so let's get it so all of our cables are kind of in the right place where we want them. So I'm just going to tuck this one in. That's going to go, and oh god, come on.
Yuri says, I love that you explain every step of what you do and the meaning behind it. I've never seen it before when I watch these kind of live streams.
Ah, thanks, Yuri. You're very welcome, and I'm glad you're enjoying. I probably, each time when I do a regular build, I probably wouldn't go into quite as much detail, especially around the cabling. But James, our customer who has bought this PC, he requested that we just do a bit more of a deep dive so that he can understand how to build PCs. I would say that probably we do about 80% of this detail each time we do a build. We maybe skip some of the wiring, but yeah, it's nice to do this sometimes. Maybe we'll just do a detailed build every now and then, Frank. You know, unless if it's not requested, if someone just, you know, I don't know, every 5 live streams or something, we'll do one with detail. That could
Sounds
be a
like
good
a
idea.
plan.
Yeah. Right, so I'm going to put this through the grommet because I know this one has to go here.
Yuri loves Molex connectors because once he got to plug in like 4 fans using one Molex.
Oh God, no, that's a disaster waiting to happen right there. I hope everything was okay, Yuri. I hope nothing caught fire. Right, so I'm going to put these through the hole up here so that we've got them ready to go. But essentially I'm going to have to do a little bit of wiggling. I'm really hoping that I don't have to take off that radiator because I've installed the radiator before putting these cables in, which is just, you know, classic. Classic do not do. Where's
I'll tell
my
you what,
CPU
though, I
cable?
don't think I've ever built a PC that I haven't had to detach and reattach at least one component during the course of it.
Yeah, I mean, you can plan for everything. Sometimes you'll just forget and do something in the wrong order. It's no big deal. The main thing is that when we do builds like this, that we, I've caused myself a bit of extra work here, and it's going to be a little, tough to wiggle those cables in. But the main thing is that we make sure that everything is double checked when it comes to things like power cables. You might have seen on videos like Linus Tech Tips when they've done secret shopper videos, right? And pre-built PCs have arrived with these CPU cables that are only half plugged in. And not only is that bad for your CPU because it doesn't get enough power, it's also just really dangerous because a half plugged cable is a cable that could short and cause a fire. So yes, very, very important to make sure these are correctly plugged in. And that's what I'm going to do now.
Yuri confirms that so far he hasn't set fire to anything, and he's asking if those are RGB splitters in the back. I'm assuming that he's talking about the fan controller.
Yes, that is the fan hub that is part of the case there, yeah. All right, where is those? Right, okay. Sorry, I'm just going to have to concentrate for just a moment while I do this. This is just a particularly annoying part, and I have a feeling I'm going to have to undo the reservoir. No, why do I keep calling it a reservoir? The radiator.
I will help you by focusing extremely closely on what you're doing to reduce the amount of pressure you feel.
Thanks, Frank. Right.
Yuri says that's cool. He's never seen anything like that. Are you talking about an integrated fan controller into a case, Yuri?
Or fan hub, I guess. Yeah, that's a common way of calling it.
Squad, thank you for the vibes. Thank you for the feedback. Honestly, love the vibes, pro level stuff, and you both deserve the best. Oh, that's very kind of you, Squad. Thank you.
How nice. Oh, everyone's so wonderful and friendly this evening. Thank you, guys. What great vibes you're giving. I love it. It's always a difficult challenge to build a PC when live streaming, especially as a single person. If Frank wasn't here, I'd usually just have the camera on my tripod, and sometimes I can kind of struggle to be entertaining, because being entertaining is hard. But when there are people like yourself, Squad, and Yuri, and everyone else, and of course James that is here, it's just so much better. So thank you very much. My finger hurts.
Yuri says that normally he buys cheap ones off eBay. I mean, Be Quiet have them integrated into their cases generally, don't they, as well?
Yeah, it depends.
Or they bundle them in, don't they? They're not integrated.
It depends how much you spend on your case, basically. I think anything over about £100 will usually have a built-in fan hub. Oh God, get in there. Get in.
Oh, Yuri, thanks again. He says, keep using Frank as a cameraman. I feel as if it's more interactive with the two of you there.
Me too.
I got to be honest, Yuri, I'm enjoying it. Let's just maybe try and get a bit of a steady cam rig. Yeah.
the cam is currently not steady because it's just attached to Frank's neck, around a strap around his neck. We really should have one of those fancy gimbals, shouldn't we? But this is the first time doing a free cam setup, and yeah, I didn't know whether we would continue to do these or not, but feedback is great, so thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, I think it's I think it's worked.
Yeah. I'm digging it.
Yeah, good. I'm very warm. I can tell you that for sure. It is, what is it, 27 degrees today?
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Okay, right. So, status update. Status. There's still a lot of cables. Still a lot of cables to look at. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring through the 2 VGA cables that we'll need for the graphics card, and then hide those away. So these just come under the little, through the little grommet here. Just bring these through, sorry. And then we can start looking at finishing off those cables. Get through the hole. God damn it. Okay. Went through. Right. So we've got a couple of more things that we need to plug into the power supply as well. So as you can see, we've got some power here, which is going to need to go to a SATA port. This is for some of the RGB on the front of the case. And then we've got another one here, which I just need to unhook and bring out. Where are we? Okay. So we got another cable here, and then another fan PWM cable here. So this is the PWM cable that we need to plug straight into our motherboard, right? Because that's for the hub. So the hub is, this is like the input for the hub. We plug this into the motherboard, and then the PWM and the fan signal goes through this to the hub, and then from the hub it goes to all of the other fans. So we're going to find the best place to plug this in right now. It's probably going to be yeah, up past here. And again, we will tidy these a lot more later, but I'm just kind of doing an instructional kind of thing at the moment for James. But that's going to come through here, and I'll plug in. It's hard to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, damn it. All right. I'm going to pull this through, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. It's going to be a tough one, this, because it is. So, what I should have done is not attach the AIO yet. But that's fine. You know, you live and learn. Because as you can see, I've got very little space down here to play with. So what I'm looking for is there should be a CPU, header for fans. So we've got a chassis fan down here, we've got another one down here. Usually you have one on the side, and usually you have one up at the top. But because I'm struggling to see the ones at the top, I think I'm going to route this down to the bottom. Just maybe for the time being, but I will probably change this later when I come to tidy them up.
Squad says a tripod maybe, and we can move it when needed. Yes, we do have a tripod. Maybe a quick release mechanism for it would be the
problem with the tripod is it's quite big and cumbersome, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah. It's not too small. And Yuri, thank you. That's very kind. Camera's steady enough.
Yeah, Frank's doing a great job. Thanks, dude. All right, going to put this one. So, wiring is definitely it's an acquired art. You know, it takes a bit of work, and to really do a good job, you have to take your time with it. And unfortunately, you know, the amount of wiring we can do on the stream is, you know, we can't do all of it. I'm gonna do the wiring and explain it as I go for James, because this is part of what he wanted. But the tidying of the wiring, shall I say, is a very difficult job, and I'll do that off stream because there's a lot. Okay.
I would call it finessing.
Yes. So let's turn it around again, and it just makes everything harder doing it backwards and back to front. So we've got this to plug in. So we're going to have one of our cables going over here. So let's plug this one into this one, like so. This is a SATA cable, and this is for the this is the power the PWM. Power the fan hub that's up here, and then this one is to power the RGB.
Sorry, Tal, can you just pull that out? I just realised I had the chat box over that NAS connector.
Oh,
Just want to make sure.
so it's just this SATA cable here. We've got two of these, just this SATA cable,
Lovely.
and it plugs into this SATA power connector here, and then that will give power to our PWM fan hub, which is up here. And then this one is just for power for the RGB lights that are at the front of the case. So I'll just connect this on here, like so, and then we just want to tuck that down underneath, never to see it again probably. Okay. How are we doing? What's our time check?
2 hours.
I figured about 2.5 hours, so I think we're on track. Right, so I need to be able to take a good look at what's going on here, so I'm going to put the case back down. And there's just a few things now that we need to make use of. So we need to start plugging in some of the. I think I've got two more fans, PWMs that need to go in. This one here and this one here. These two, so I can daisy chain this, one of them. Yeah, like so. Daisy chain that. And then I can plug this into one of the headers that's down below here. So let's see where that one is. There's a header right here. So bring this up. And then there we go. That one's plugged in there. So that, I think, is all of our PWMs now. Let's just double check that. So let's just, no, it's not. We need one more.
Your mother is a wise and good sounding lady. She says kindness is free.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Right, let's see. Oh, this is a 3-pin. So, yeah, we've got our 3-pin headers here. So this just needs to go in just here. And again, we'll use these channels to tidy up the cables later. So let's just separate out now all of our RGB cables that we've got. So RGB, RGB, and a good thing to do is just to fold them over so that you have them all kind of accounted for, right? And then we also want to tie down these big CPU cables over here, like so. Again, I will do this in a much more tidy way off camera, but roughly like this. Here, and there's another one here.
I think step 1 is functional, step 2 is finesse.
Exactly, yeah. That's exactly what we're aiming for. We're aiming for functional right now, and then finesse and beautifying shortly. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do we have 7 fans? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we do. And there should be even one more for the fan hub. Sorry, the pump. Okay, which is this one. So let's figure out how we want to do these. So these are going to be mostly daisy chain. I think we're going to daisy chain a clump down here on the front, and then we'll daisy chain a clump on the back and the top as well. So
is it normally best not to exceed a certain number? Or does it not matter?
There is a number and there is math behind it. Basically, probably no more than 3 or 4 on what daisy chain together. I think the maximum might be something in the range of about 5 or 6. So stick to 3 and 4, 3 or 4.
Headroom is always good.
Yes. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find out where our RGB headers are. So we've got one up there. We've got one down here, two down here, and yeah, that looks to be it. So now it's just about planning where we want these to go. So
Yuri says, by any chance do you know if the NZXT H5 Flow comes with an integrated fan hub?
I'm almost certain that it does. Yes. I've built in the H7, which is the bigger brother, and that definitely did. I'm almost certain, Yuri, not 100%, sorry. But yeah, pretty much any case over about £100 or $100, you'll typically have a fan hub. But check in the manual. So what you can do is you go to the manufacturer website, go to the product page, click support, and then find the manual, and then look in the manual, and you'll be able to see there. Right, okay, so we've got two at the bottom, one at the top. So let's figure out these first. So this is the tricky bit. All right, so I think these three will go on the top. So we're going to daisy chain these, like I said. So this is the first one, and we're going to daisy chain that one to this one. And you can see there's three cables, right? So 3 pins. So it's one to the left and two to the right, or the other way around. That's daisy chain. So this is going to be the one that goes into the motherboard, and then we're going to daisy chain the next one, which is this one here.
So that's just a cap you're removing there.
That's just a dust cap, yeah, exactly. And then this last one is the last daisy chain, the last chain of daisies that we'll do, I think, up here. There we go. So we got all of these connected together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to bring this through wherever the best point is to connect to our, yeah, right. So I can't do this, I can't turn this around at the moment, guys, I'm sorry, but essentially, remember we had that one one RGB header at the top here. I'm just plugging it in to there, nice and simple. And I just need to be able to see it, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Right, come on, get in. That's what she said. Did you say that, Frank? Help me out here, bro.
No comment.
I'm floundering. Oh God.
You got a bit of snack?
I can't. It's. Oh, okay. So let's bring it down. Might be able to do it better this way. But yeah, sorry, you're not going to be able to see this, guys. But essentially, I'm just plugging in one cable. It's a bit of a tight one because of the AIO, which again I should not have done earlier, but you live and learn. All right, there it is, plugged in.
Great success.
Great success. Only took 5 minutes. So now I'm going to unplug, feed all the cables back through the grommet so we don't see them. So it's nice and tidy. I'm now going to plug in the 24-pin motherboard power. And you just press these, the little bit to the big bit, and then thumb and finger.
That's a tough one to get into shot.
Yeah, thumb and finger and put it in. God damn it, I'm going to use my other thumb and finger, I think. Should have a better angle of attack from over here. There we go. So you want to make sure when you've done this that you just double check that everything is plugged in. This is a very important cable to make sure that it's plugged in correctly. So you've got the big bit and then the little bit attached to it.
It's another one with a really nice, satisfying click.
Yeah, yeah. Love from Sri Lanka and another sub. The build looks clean, man. Thank you, Jigsaw. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Gamertech, worldwide.
Worldwide. Okay, right.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
So we've now got just a couple more that we need to daisy chain. So what do we have? We had 2 at the top, did we?
I thought 1 at the top.
No, sorry, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. So, yes. So let's, sorry, I'll be with you again in a moment, guys. Right, so now we've got, how many at the bottom? 3 to plug in to the bottom.
Can we get a please stand by poster so that I can just zoom to it whenever something's happening that's out of view?
Please stand by. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
You know, like technical difficulties.
Oh, right. Yeah. I gotcha. Right, so I'm going to daisy chain these cables again. So again, we just daisy and chain.
Daisy.
Rich, are you still with us? And have you seen Sinners yet? Me and Frank went to see it the other day, and it was epically good. The new Ryan Coogler film. Have you seen it? And that's a question to anyone else that's watching as well. The new film Sinners, I thought, was absolutely incredible. What did you think, Frank?
Yeah, I'll second that. It's been a long time since I walked out of the cinema after watching something so original.
Yeah.
And Yuri says, yo, we just hit 300 subs. Nice.
Yeah, boy.
Hey.
All right. Thanks, Yuri.
Oh,
That's wicked.
thank you very much, everyone. We appreciate it.
That's a milestone. 300. Dude, that's an actual milestone right there. I've been thinking about, it's been hovering around like 296, 297 for weeks.
Really?
And now we got 300. That's so cool. Thank you to Yuri, Jigsaw, and Squad, and who was here earlier as well? Squad and...
I can't scroll the chat to help you.
No, there was somebody
Rich,
else.
Ian, you have to excuse my
Abdul.
terrible memory. Abdul, and I'm pretty sure there's at least 1 or 2 more.
And of course, James, our brand new customer. Hopefully you've subscribed too, James. Please, if not, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, smash it. Smash the subscribe button.
I don't feel it's right to victimise our customer.
What? Victimising?
You're just directly addressing him.
It's a suggestion. It's a suggestion.
Yuri says road to 500.
Road to 500.
Hopefully so, my friend.
All right. Okay. So that is, I think, all of our cables now. So, like I said, it ain't pretty. I'm going to tidy these up, but let's just make sure that everything is plugged in. So we've got our daisy chain up top here, which, you know what, let's just tuck into here. So it's not just...
James says, already done. He's already with us.
My man. Thank you, James. Right, let's just tuck that in. So everything is plugged in up the top here. And you know what? If we've forgotten to plug something in, it's no big deal. We'll just go back and trace everything back and see, you know, what needs to be plugged in. But at this point, I don't think there is anything else that needs to be plugged in. So
the contrast between the back and the front is just fantastic.
Yeah. It's like that. Remember that Simpsons meme where he's like looking really thin on the front, and then on the back he's got all of his flesh is like squeezed together. Yeah, that's Homer's back.
Yeah.
That's Homer's front. Ooh, yeah, looking good. All right, okay, so I think now's the big moment. Time to get this graphics card in. So, here we go. This is my first hands-on with the new gen AMD cards. I'm very excited about this. Let's have a little look. Okay, Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that looks good, man. I'm liking that. I mean, you know, it's just a good looking card. It's 2.5 slots. It's got a nice back plate and a great big sticker that says gaming starts here. I guess we probably have to take this off. So let's take that off, shall we? And got to do this peel as well, James. Sorry about that. Because once this one is in, we don't want anything getting caught up, you know, inside the case.
Yuri says, whoa, the card looks insane. Yeah, I have to agree, my friend.
It's really nice. And we got a little movie slotty thing. What's this? Movie slotty thing. There.
Oh.
And there. What's going on there
Do
then?
that again.
I wonder what that's all about. Let me have a look. Oh, I think it covers up the RGB. So we've got an RGB strip there. So do you want RGB on? RGB off? Let's go on. Right, take off the little protector, and I'm just going to put it up here just to see which back plates I need to remove. So usually it's either 1 or 2 or 2 or 3, and in this case it's 2 and 3.
It really is a handful, isn't it?
I mean, it's weird because there was a period of time where graphics cards were just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and requiring more and more and more power. But now they seem to be getting smaller. I'm not sure the power is going down just yet, but the size is. Yeah. The new 50 series NVIDIA cards, the 5090 and the 5080, they're 2 slots. That's thinner than this.
Yeah.
Thinner than that. That is crazy.
I have the 3090 and I'm yet to see anything bigger.
Oh, yeah.
that's pretty much.
That's a monster.
Yeah.
That's a big old monster. Right, okay, so just plug this in.
Actually, I think it's bigger than this.
Do you? Oh, yeah,
Hang
yeah.
on, is this triple power connection, though?
Yeah. That's okay. We're only going to plug 2 in right now. And we might have to think about that. We might have to resize the power supply.
All right. If we've got to do it, we've got to do it.
So, yeah, this is, okay, slight unexpected thing here, guys. But we will overcome it. So we've got a triple power connector, and I think we've only got 2 rails or 2 cables. So there shouldn't be a problem with running 2 of the connectors off the same cable. Well, there isn't a problem with that, but we may need to look at a slightly bigger power supply. I'm not sure. Let's have a look into it and see what's the best thing to do. So what I'm saying is, so you can see here on our one cable, we've got one cable here and one cable there. Now, there's, in terms of the amount of power that is taken to the card, we're absolutely fine to put both of those in from one cable. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the power ratings to be 100% sure for this card, because I'm not 100% sure for this particular card, and then we may look at a slightly bigger power supply, because we've only got 2 cables, albeit we've got 3 connectors.
Yuri says, my GTX 1080 Ti is greedy for power. And really big and beefy.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And he was equally surprised by the triple, as I was.
So, we'll talk to James about that, see what he wants to do. I'll give you a call, James, because, so, yeah, so our PC builder takes into account a lot of things, almost all of the things. What it does is it looks at the power required. So our PC builder on gamertech.org looks at this card and says, right, for this card you need 750 or 850 watt power supply. What it doesn't look at is how many connectors we've got on the how many cables we've got. So we may need to have a little think about that. This, I'm 95% sure that this will be just fine as it is, but I do want to check that we can, how much current is going to come through each one of these cables, and is it okay to have 2 cables connected. I mean, there's a reason they have 2 cables on here, right? That's so that they can be used, but it's always best to double check. So I will double check that. Yeah, triple PCI connectors, Yuri. Yeah, that's a lot. All right, so I think we're ready.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition or the third PCIe connector.
Or the third.
And
PCIe
I think the thing
connector.
is, our configurator is custom. It's built from the ground up, and you know, we put a lot of time and effort into the compatibility matrix, as I think of it. You know, so we'll go and make that modification, I'm sure.
Right. I think we're ready to plug in. What are you saying, Franco?
Yeah. Okay.
Where's my power cable? Hang on. I usually got at least a few power cables here. I need one more. Here it is. I got it. Right. Power going in.
Don't forget to turn the power supply switch to on. Yuri says.
Thanks,
I
Yuri.
always thought my PC was broken. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Right.
Okay, I have stream freeze on OBS.
Oh. What's happening?
I think we're frozen. I think whatever you did with the power. Interesting. I'm seeing reaction on the audio. I'm not seeing any reaction on the video any longer.
Okay.
Just checking the connections on the camera. Those are fine. Stream video is frozen. Says Yuri.
Right. Thank you, Yuri. I'm going to just have a look at that momentarily. Right. I need to come round.
Stream seems to be running. It's just that whatever connection we've got from the camera doesn't seem to be making it.
Let's have a look. Where's my mouse? Oh god, mouse is around here. Okay, this is not ideal.
I'm going to put the camera down a second. I can't do that.
Alright, thanks Yuri, appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to okay. Are we back? Can anyone confirm? Are we back?
I think we are.
Okay.
Super.
What are you saying?
Thanks for confirming, James. Appreciate that.
Ah, bro. Right, I'm not sure what happened there, but the show must go on, as they say. So, what was that show? It'll be all right on the night. Does anyone remember that? That's really showing my age now.
A little bit.
Okay. Power cable in. Display port in.
All right. We got some life.
Oh yeah. All right.
Gosh,
Get
the
some.
140s really show off the RGB.
Oh, we got a little bit of cable
low in
rubbing there, so I'll just turn that off and move that out of the way. Okay.
All right. Oh, that's nice.
That is lovely, isn't it? What are you saying, Frank?
It is whisper quiet as well.
Yeah, it was a bit loud at the beginning because whenever you turn the PC on, it wants to just like have high RPMs for protection type things. And it's currently booting into post. We should have post any second.
I tell you what, I figured out the aesthetic it reminds me of. Even though it's multicoloured, it's giving me Portal vibes, and I love it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I
It's
see what
like
you're saying.
it's like if a Portal turret was a PC
Yeah,
with the black and white.
it's really nice. I really like that. I've got a lot of time for this aesthetic. James, you've designed a very nice PC there.
Ooh.
I like that a lot.
I got to tell you, James, I was between the Meshify and the Define 7, and I didn't realise it looked so good in white. Honestly, it's the front of the case was what kind of put me off, and actually against the white
I love the
border,
front of this case.
it is great.
The kind of jaggedy
Yeah.
aesthetic it's got going here. I really like that.
Doesn't work for me all black.
Really?
Actually, and
Okay,
that's why
yeah.
I went with the Define.
Yeah. Okay, and we've got post on our other monitor here as well, so
There we
that's
go.
great. So, what that says is everything is working, and that I did an okay job.
You did a great job, dude.
Yeah. So let's turn it around.
It does look very, very clean. You're absolutely right, Yuri.
As I said,
As he turns it around.
the rear does not look clean yet, but hopefully, James, we've given you enough knowledge that you were looking for. So it gives you a basis of, when it's time to build another PC, you can perhaps do this yourself. All I'm going to do is just tidy. I'm going to tidy this stuff up, basically. And I don't think that's interesting in anyone's books. But yeah, let's turn it back around. Let's get a front view, shall we, Frank?
Mm. Oh, okay.
Does that look good? Yeah, the timing, Yuri. Oh, look at how clean. Oh yeah, no, not clean. Not clean anymore. Looks really, really nice. I love that front.
Ooh, and I tell you what, the red light at the top as well. It's like,
Oh yeah, I didn't
it's like
notice that.
it looks like a sentry.
Yeah, it's a cool looking case. There's a handful of cases that I really, really love, and this is definitely one of them. I'm so glad you bought this one, James, because I've been coveting this case for a long time, and I've wanted to build in it for a long time, and I can definitely now say that it is as good as all of the reviews say. It's a very, very nice case to build in. It's very good looking. It's spacious, but actually not too massive. It's not too massive at all. When I saw the box was humongous, but the actual case itself is very, very reasonably sized, I think.
The case is a Fractal Design Meshify.
Meshify 2.
Meshify 2.
Yeah.
Yuri. And James, you're very welcome. You chose a really fantastic build here, and you know what? It's been a banner stream. It really has.
Yeah. So one thing that we're gonna have live very soon is something called, on our website, so gamertech.org, we're going to have something called a PC League, and this is going to be a separate page where all of our customer builds are going to be on a league table, so that new customers can come along and see the builds that are our customers. This is going to be purely for customer builds, not ones that I've just configured myself, and people are going to be able to come along and look at all of these builds that have been built and purchased by our customers and see, right, let's look at this one, that's a top 3, that's a top 5, and they'll have scores to them as well. So I don't know if anyone has seen, but on our website every build has a GT score, Gamertech score, which gives a number to how good your build is in terms of the components that are inside of it. So the top builds, the top numbers of the GT scores will be at the top, and yeah, I think it's going to be the top 20, if I remember rightly, on the page. So James, I'm pretty sure yours will be fairly high up. It might be the best PC, or maybe the second best that we've built so far, but it will definitely be there. And I'm not sure how much it means, but you know, it does mean that new customers will be able to come along and they'll just be able to replicate this. They'll be able to say, I want a James, and I'll buy that PC and it'll have your name on it. So yeah, that's coming soon at gamertech.org. So I think that's it for us today. Anything you want to say, Frank?
Just thank you very much to everyone who joined. It was a really good experience and made all the more better with everyone's participation. So thank you.
More better. More
better.
More people, more better.
More better.
Yes, and I feel exactly the same. Thank you so much for everyone for joining, and to those who participated with questions and everything as well. That's awesome. I'm so thankful for that participation. I'm so thankful for you, and I appreciate you lots and lots. That's going to be it for us today. We're going to go and get some food because it's now what time? 8:30?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I don't even know the time.
I don't know if your computer time is right.
It's food o'clock. My tummy's been rumbling for about half an hour, so it's food o'clock. We're going to go get some food, and we're going to watch a film tonight, aren't we, Frank? We've been working our way through all of the Michael Mann films. We're at the bottom two Michael Mann films.
We're scraping the barrel now.
Yeah. Here's a thought. How about, because we've got our next series picked out as well. We're going to be watching David Fincher films, and the first one is Alien 3. I'm just saying
the new legacy cut.
But perhaps we could just skip the bottom two Michael Mann films and go straight to Alien 3 tonight and watch the new legacy cut. What are your thoughts on that?
You might have immediately sold me.
I'm not sure I want to watch the two worst Michael Mann films of all time.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, Yuri, James, everybody, thank you so much for joining the stream. We really appreciate you, and we'd love to see you again.
Yes. So from me, Tal, and from Frank, that's it. That's the end. That's it. You can go home now. Come on. Get out of here.
Thanks very much, guys.
Bye-bye.
What do I do?
Yeah, press the end stream. Stop streaming button. This is the outtakes. So now you can just see how bad we are at pressing. Come back, Frank. That's it.
I'm holding
up,
the camera.
Up a bit, down a bit. Give me the mouse.
Okay.
Up a bit,
Give it a
left a bit. Yep. Is it in yet?